If you are near the age of Social Security or Medicare, how does selling your business impact you? So, several different categories we need to talk about: Social Security disability, Medicare, and federal income taxes. I'm not going to talk about state income taxes, which also might be an issue in your state. So, I want to sell my business and I'm going to make $1 million. How old am I? I am 62. Okay, that does not have anything to do with the Social Security earned income limit. That will not cause me to lose my Social Security disability. That will not reduce my Social Security retirement. If I'm drawing a spousal Social Security benefit or a widow benefit, it's not going to impact any of that because it's passive income. It wasn't a job that I went to. So, no problem with Social Security. If you had supplemental security income, which is a form of welfare, yes, you will lose your benefit. So all the other forms were cool. Now let's talk about Medicare. And you're like, Medicare? Why are we talking about Medicare? I told you I'm only 62. Well, Medicare starts at 65. You don't have to start it at 65 if you're continuing to work, but most people started at 65. So Medicare has that 2-year look back, the Medicare Irma, where you might have to pay more for Medicare Parts B and D for 1 year. If you're married and your spouse is also drawing Medicare, you would both have to pay it. So if I'm selling my business at 62, that means 2 years in the future at 64, it could cause me to pay more for Medicare. Can't get Medicare at 64. Oh, wait, some people do. Millions of people do. Some people are on Social Security disability. With Social Security disability, in most cases, once you've been on disability for 2 years, you're automatically enrolled in Medicare. And then you're subject to Medicare Irma. And you're like, "Oh, why would they charge me more? I am disabled." You can be rich and be disabled. A lot of people think people that are disabled or on Social Security disability and they live in a mansion and drive a fancy car are just fraudsters and they're just working the system. No, you can be rich. Social Security disability says that I have a disability that impedes my ability to work. It doesn't say I don't have any money. So yes, if you're on Social Security disability and you're on Medicare because you've been on at least 2 years, you can trigger Medicare Irma at 64. Okay, so let's say you are not on disability. You are going to go on Medicare at 65. They're going to look at your tax returns from 2 years prior, 63. So you sell your business at 62, we're in the clear. You sell your vacation home, you sell your primary home, whatever you do. You take a lot of money out of your 401k, your 403b, your IRA, any of those big taxable events that you do at 62 aren't going to cause you to pay more for Medicare at 65. Now, if you do all this or any of this at age 63 and you do plan to start Medicare at 65, now we got a problem. So you might just want to take a hit and get it all done in the same year and just know that you'll pay more for Medicare at 65. You might try to work another year, delay Medicare another year, so you're out of that Medicare Irma triggering window. And I'll put the charts here on the screen for 2025. Keep in mind there's 5 different income brackets. If you go over a bracket by only $1, you're paying that added surcharge every month for Medicare B and D. So look at these charts and then if you're thinking about doing something next year or until you try to gauge, these will be going up. If you don't have my free Social Security and Medicare cheat sheet, which includes these Medicare Irma brackets, click below the link in my bio and you put in your email, you'll immediately get my free Social Security and Medicare cheat sheet. Once you've downloaded it once, you're on our list. We will automatically update it, send you the new one about the end of November every year when we have the new numbers, since these numbers do change every year. So you'll get it every year for the rest of your life. Okay, so let's go back. I'm at 65. I made a lot of money at 63. I'm looking at retiring and woo, I don't want to pay an extra $6,000. So I'll just work another year. That's fine. Because if I retire at 66, assuming that my work insurance has 20 or more employees, which means credible coverage, I don't get a late penalty, or I stayed on my spouse's work insurance for another year, which was 20 or more employees, and I didn't enroll in Medicare for a year. So now I'm 66. They're going to look back at my income 2 years prior, And it's your adjusted gross income. If you read my Social Security and Medicare cheat sheet, it says modified adjusted gross income. You're like, what is that? I understand adjusted gross income, the line item on my taxes. Modified just includes back in some tax deductible interest, such as municipal bonds. So for most people, just ignore that. It's just your adjusted gross income. So they're going to look at your tax returns from 2 years prior. They're going to say, oh, you made a lot of money then. And you're like, yeah, but that money that I made was from my job and I'm going to retire. So they're still going to trigger you with a Medicare Irma surcharge. They're going to send you the dreaded letter and says, woo, you made a lot of money 2 years ago. And you're going to say, yes, but they list about 4 exceptions on the sheet. I retired. Here's proof of my retirement. There's a whole bunch of ways you can prove that, right? Send it in. It might take them 3 months, but then they will say, hey, sorry. They're going to give you back the money they took out. If you're on Social Security, they automatically took out the extra money. They'll give it to you back. They'll refund it back, and they'll say, you're right. You pay the standard Part B premium just like everybody else. So let's go back in my scenario. I want to sell my house, my business, my vacation property, take a lot of money out of my 401k, my IRA, and my 403b. I'm a really lucky person. I got a lot of investments. And I am 63. And I have to retire at 65. For a variety of reasons, I don't have a choice to keep working longer. I got to get out. Okay. Now you know you're going to pay more at 65. So at 63, is there any strategies? Yeah, there's quite a lot of strategies. You could work with a financial planner. You could get my book on Amazon. It's listed here on the screen with a whole chapter dedicated to Medicare Irma that will give you a variety of strategies. But one of the easiest strategies is instead of selling your vacation house or your house, rent it. You're like, I don't really want to rent it. I don't want to deal with renters. Okay, but you understand the ramifications for Medicare Irma. How about your business? You could sell it on a contract and spread out those payments over 5 years or 10 years. So there's ways you can manipulate this. You're like, I don't really want to I just want a clean break. I just want to get it done. Okay. Now, another strategy we have is I want to do a lot of these taxable things over the period of maybe 2-3 years. I want to sell my vacation house. I want to sell my primary house because I got married and I'm moving in with my husband. I want to sell my business. I want to sell my rentals, blah, 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 blah. Try to do it all in 1 year. I had a guy that said, I have 8 rentals and I want to sell them. How will that impact me? And I said, well, are you going to sell them in 1 year? Or are you going to sell them over 3 years and drive this up consistently? Medicare Irma is recalculated annually. So that's the good news. So if you get hit with one big hit, it's for 1 year. Next year, they again look back at your income from 2 years prior. And if you retire, if your income was from retirement, if it was inflated because you were married, or you can say I got divorced, or there's exceptions. But if you did all these big taxable events that I've mentioned, there's no exception to that. You will be hit with Medicare Irma. So if you know you're going to pay an extra $6,000 a year, can you try to do it all in 1 year? Now, the vagaries of the market might make it impossible to sell your business and 8 rentals, right? But it might be your strategy. Or you might say, okay, I looked at the Medicare Irma charts and my income. Maybe I delay getting married. That's a lot of people. I hate to say that, but it's like, hey, just you got to live together for 1 more year. Let's put that one off so you're not hitting your fiance with these elevated Medicare charges as well. Because if you're married, you file jointly, you're both on Medicare, you're both going to get hit with the Medicare surcharge where you both pay more for Part B and Part D every month, again, for 1 year. Then they're going to recalculate it. So maybe don't get married. Maybe try to structure this. Maybe just rent instead of sell. If you're just talking about a taxable event that is easier to control, like taking money out of your 401k or out of your IRA, that's completely up to you, right? You don't need the market. You don't need anybody's help. You can do that whenever you want. If you're 59 and a half or older, it is penalty-free. Woo, I almost said tax-free. Penalty-free. But you will pay taxes. So the IRS on Sam wants his money. So when you take a large sum out of your 401k, and you're like, I could do it. There's no penalty. Yeah, there is no penalty. But that could bump you up into a higher tax bracket. And that could trigger Medicare Irma. Not this year, 2 years in the future. So people always ask me, what age do I have to be before I can take a large sum of money out of my 401k? Because I want to buy an RV, or I want to remodel my house, or I want to pay off my house or pay off my kid's house. I'm going to take a lot of money out, 100,000, 150,000. When? Tell me what age I can do that. You can do that prior to 2 years of going on Medicare. So you can do it at 62, but if you're starting Medicare at 65, don't do it at 63. If you're not starting Medicare till 66, don't do it at 64. Once you're on Medicare, okay, so now I'm past 65, I'm on Medicare. Now when can I do it? Is there a magic age? Is 70? For some reason, people think 70 is a magic age. I always hear you don't pay income taxes after 70. Not true. Lots of myths here. There is no age once you're on Medicare that you can do these large withdrawals without triggering Medicare Irma. That's, again, why I said talk to a financial planner, buy my book on Amazon. It's cheap, $24.99. It can save you thousands and thousands of dollars if you understand this Medicare Irma. So instead of taking $100,000 out to buy this RV this year, you're going to look at your adjusted gross income if you're married total. So, for example, 2025, I will look at my 2023 income. The Irma charts say as a couple, we have to make under $212,000. So I'm trying to guess for this year. I'm trying to guess what that would be. So I'll say it's $220,000. I have to be under $220,000. So our combined income is $200,000. So I want to take out $19,000. That's it, right? Because that keeps me under the threshold. Now I'll still pay taxes on that $19,000. So it has other ramifications, but it's not going to trigger Medicare Irma. So maybe I take out $19,000 every year for 5 years. And you're like, no, I worked hard my whole life. I want to buy this RV. I want to do it now. Okay, just understand that if you are going to do it now, maybe take out more than maybe do it all now. Maybe also this is a good time to sell that vacation house or that plot of land that you didn't really want to mess with, but you thought maybe you'd sell it someday. Maybe do it all in the same year that you take that hit for Medicare Irma. Again, there are certain things that you can appeal, such as getting married, divorced, loss of income producing land. The major one is you retired. If your income drops. So if I'm working and my income is with my spouse way over $212,000, they will trigger Irma. I'll get that letter. They'll start taking that money out of my Social Security check. But I'll appeal. It's the SS-44 form. I will appeal in 3 or 4 months. They will lower my Irma back down because I retired. It is not appealable that I sold a vacation house, my business, land. It's not appealable that I took money out of my 401k or my IRA. You will have to take the Medicare hit if you're within that 2-year look back. If you need to know more about Medicare Irma, I have a lot of information on our website, themedicarefamily.com. If you need an appointment because you're getting ready to enroll in Medicare and you need personal guidance, our help is free. We're licensed in all 50 states. All you do is go to our website, themedicarefamily.com. There's a little yellow button. Click on there to book your own appointment. We will call you. We never call anybody that doesn't ask for an appointment. We're not one of those people. We're a small family business in Indiana. And if you like this video, please subscribe. If you like this video, you might really like this video. Check it out. And we'd appreciate if you subscribe to our channel so you never miss a great video. We put out one every week. Check in the description below this video for a link to our cheat sheet on Social Security and Medicare. And you can also give us a comment. If you have a specific question, always feel free to call us or email us at the Medicare Family.